So this is the worst nightmare for a right-handed fighter, a really good southpaw. That southpaw stance is going to mess with your mind. So the first thing that people will tell you about the southpaw stance is it's a mirror image of a normal fighter. So if you're used to fighting somebody that's a right-hand fighter, and then all of a sudden you get a southpaw, kind of messes everything up because everything's reversed. Your angles are all wrong. Your power hand is actually closer to him instead of further away. And this can be very, very dangerous. So we re-gone, nah. Look at some of the best southpaws ever to fight in combat sports, and we re-gone, nah. Break down why it is such a nightmare for most fighters. Even great fighters like Floyd Mayweather struggled with the southpaws. Even though he was an amazing defensive fighter, it still gave him problems. Now this is one of the greatest debates in all of boxing. Who is the greatest southpaw of all time? Is it Muhammad Ali? Is it Sugar Ray Robinson? Is it Manny Pacquiao? Is it a more modern guy like Vasyl Lomachenko? Maybe it's a controversial pick, but I think a lot of people would say that it's Manny Pacquiao, and he's got a lot of great qualities. He's obviously an amazing puncher. His counter-punching is incredible, but his movement is fantastic. He moves laterally, he moves forward, he moves backwards. He has no problem stepping into the ring and fighting anybody. But one thing that stands out when you watch film of Manny Pacquiao is his unorthodox stance and how much it affects his opponents. This is a common stance for Manny Pacquiao. This is what you see a lot of fighters adopt when they're going against a southpaw. They try to copy what they see other fighters do. But the reason why Pac-Man is so successful at it is because he does it instinctively. This is just natural to him. It's not something he saw somebody else do and goes, oh yeah, I'm gonna go copy them. He's always had this stance. It's always been this fighter. And he gets in very, very close range to his opponents and starts throwing punches from weird angles. You don't know where they're coming from. He throws punches from the southpaw stance that are basically impossible to see coming. Because again, he's in your face and he's so explosive. He can throw a punch and he can get it off so quick that there's no way you can react to it. If you look at Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, a lot of the times Floyd was just like, whoa, where did that come from? Because he couldn't read him. But there's another reason why Manny Pacquiao is so dangerous from this stance. Most fighters, when they get in this stance, their lead leg is straight. They want to have a nice straight line to their opponent, but the problem with that is there's a big opening right here. If you have a fighter that has a very strong lead hook, like Manny Pacquiao does, it can be devastating. In fact, I think a lot of people forget that Manny Pacquiao actually knocked Floyd Mayweather down in that fight, and it was a low blow. But it was a perfectly placed low kick that just buckled Floyd Mayweather. Floyd said he didn't feel it, but it hit him square on the belt. And this is a very common target that you can hit when you re-in this type of stance. Manny Pacquiao has done this over and over again throughout his career, especially in the later part of his career when he's not as fast. He doesn't have those blinding fast combinations anymore. But he knows that if he gets inside and he can establish that lead leg, can land that body shot, and it can change the course of the fight. There are a lot of fighters who are hesitant to adopt this stance because they're worried about this exact reason. What if I get in close and I start to throw punches and all of a sudden my leg gets taken out? Yeah, that can happen. But that's why you need to be smart. You have to pick your spots. You can't just go charging into every single fight like you're gonna go. Head forward and knock somebody out with a body shot. But there are certain fighters that you can do that too. There are certain styles that you can do that too. For example, if you're refighting somebody who likes to come straight forward and you can get them in close range, absolutely you should utilize that. There's another fighter that utilizes the southpaw stance in a similar way to Manny Pacquiao. It's a modern-day fighter, but I think he might be the closest style to Manny Pacquiao. When you watch Conor McGregor fight, this is the stance that he mostly gets in. It's an open stance, but it's a little bit different than what you'd see a lot of southpaws do. You'll notice that his feet are turned in, so it's giving him an angle on his opponent. He can reach over and touch the opponent. He can snap his jab off from this position really quick. And it's a weird position to be in. It bothers a lot of fighters. But he also has that power hand right there. So he can reach over, snap the jab, and then he can come over and throw that big right hand that's devastating. I think one of the reasons why Conor McGregor is so successful in this stance is because he's so unpredictable. There's a lot of fighters that are southpaws that you can kind of predict what they're going to do. They're going to snap that jab out. Once they snap that jab out, you know that they're going to follow up with that left hook. But Conor McGregor will keep that left hand down, sometimes almost at waist level. And you don't know what he's going to do next. And then he'll look like a switch hitter sometimes. He'll throw the right hand cross, but he'll throw it from a different angle. It's a very unorthodox stance. It's a very tough stance to defend against. The reason why I think it is even more dangerous coming from Conor McGregor is because he's got that big knockout power in both hands. He's equally as dangerous no matter what hand he throws from. And he can get in very, very close range. I mean, he's a welterweight and lightweight fighter. He can get in close to anybody, and he uses this stance to his advantage. You know, when he fought Nate Diaz, he was a huge underdog. Everybody thought, wow, Nate Diaz is going to come in there and outbox him. But Conor came in there, he used that southpaw stance, and he got in close. And he did the same thing that he did against Jose Aldo. He came over, bang, and he knocked him out cold. But there's another reason why it's so difficult to deal with a good southpaw. If you've ever tried to spar or drill with somebody that's a southpaw, you probably already know this. But you see it all the time in fights. A lot of fighters will get frustrated and they'll get in the face of the southpaw. They'll go, you know, it doesn't matter what you do. I'm going to get in your face, and I'm going to make you uncomfortable. You're going to have to fight a different style than you normally do. Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas talks about this all the time. He says when you're fighting a good southpaw, you can't be technical. If you try to box a southpaw, they're going to beat you up. You have to be able to get inside, be aggressive, and not be afraid to get hit. But that's easier said than done. A lot of fighters have a hard time doing that. That's why a lot of good fighters struggle against a good southpaw. They try to stick to their game plan, try to do what made them successful in the past, but it doesn't work against a southpaw. You have to adjust. You have to make some changes and be willing to take some risks. But what's the best way to deal with a southpaw? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Check out these videos here. Thanks for watching.